Hi, welcome to this Corbettmaths video on the range. In this video we're going to look at how to find the range from a frequency table. We're going to start off by looking at how to find the range for two ungrouped frequency tables, and then at the end of the video we're going to look at a grouped frequency table and see how that makes things a lot more complicated. So first of all, what is the range? Well, if we had a list of values, the range is found by working out the difference between the largest value and the smallest value in that list. So we do the largest subtract the smallest, and that's how you find the range. So our first question says, the table shows the number of apples eaten one day by 40 people. So here we've got the table and it says work out the range of the number of apples eaten. So we have got a number of apples eaten 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the people have eaten either 1 apple, 2 apples, 3 apples or 4 apples. And 11 people have eaten 1 apple, 14 people have eaten 2 apples, 8 people have eaten 3 apples, and 7 people have eaten 4 apples. And we could write that as one big list if we wanted. We could write 11 number 1s, 14 number 2s, 8 number 3s and 7 number 4s. And the range would be found by taking the largest value in that list, which would be the 4, and then subtracting the smallest value in that list, which would be 1, and we would do 4 take away 1, which is equal to 3. Now we can also see from the table that the largest number of apples eaten was 4, and the smallest number of apples eaten was 1, and we could just do 4 subtract 1, and 4 subtract 1 is equal to 3. Okay, let's have a look at another example now. So our next example says the table shows the number of envelopes in each of 200 packets. So there's packets of envelopes, and looking at the frequency, I'm guessing the envelopes should contain 100 envelopes, and we've got this frequency table and it says envelopes 98 has a frequency of 2, 99 has a frequency of 5, 100 has a frequency of 180, 101 has a frequency of 10, and 102 has a frequency of 3. So we could write this as one big massive list with 200 numbers in it. We could write 2 98s, we could write 5 99s, 180 100s, we could write 10 101s and 3 102s. Alternatively, we could just look at our table and see, well, the largest value that we have is 102 and our smallest value is 98, and we could do 102 subtract 98 and that's equal to 4. Now one thing to watch out for is whenever there's a frequency of 0. If, for instance, this 98 had a frequency of 0, then the smallest wouldn't be 98, because if it had a frequency of 0, that would mean there were no 98s. So then we would do 102 subtract 99. But this question, there was a frequency of 2 for 98, so we would do 102, take away 98 to get our range, which is 4. And that's it. So let's have a look at a group frequency table. So here we've got a group frequency table, and we've got our inequality, so we can see they're grouped. And it says the table shows the test results for year 9. So we've got score, x, so x is bigger than 0 and less than or equal to 20. So and we've got a frequency of 3. So 3 people scored more than 0, so that's good news, nobody got 0, but they scored up to and including 20. So they could have scored 1 point, 2 points, 19 points. It could be even a decimal number, we don't know. You know, it could be 17.7, we don't know. And we've got the score, 3 people scored more than 0 but less than or equal to 20. 11 people scored more than 20 but less than or equal to 40. 19 people scored more than 40 but less than or equal to 60. 20 people scored more than 60 and less than or equal to 80. And 15 people scored more than 80 but less than or equal to 100. So if we were given this table, we wouldn't be able to find the range by just looking at this table as easily as the ones before. So in this table we can clearly see the highest value, the lowest value, we could take them away and work out the range. But here, because they're grouped, we don't actually know what the values were. We don't know what these 3 people got. They could have all got 20 points. They could have all got 5 points. They could have got 7.7 points. They couldn't have got 0, but they could have got 1 point. We don't know. These 15 people in the highest category, we don't know. We know they got more than 80 points, but they got less than or equal to 100 points. So we don't actually know what the values are. So we can't work out the range because we don't know what the lowest value is and what the highest value is. So if you're ever doing a question with a group frequency table and it mentions the range, have a look in the question and see if there's any mention of what the lowest value was and what the highest value was, and that might be useful. But that's it. So to work out the range from a frequency table, if it's an ungrouped frequency table like this, you can just find the highest value, the lowest value, and subtract them to work out the range. And that's it.